there and welcome. Shawn here, and I'm going to talk to you at length about a variety of topics. This is an addendum to my vision board video that I put out. You can go ahead and look it up on this channel, or you may be on the Compass Visionworks channel, which will be a very concentrated version of all this. I'm here at my house in Spanish Fork, Utah, which is an absolutely beautiful kind of mid-sized town, gorgeous homes, all very landscaped. And I just saw my 5-year-old daughter run by chasing after a dog. So, alright, got to get something in my hands. This is a roll of tape. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. In fact, let me get 2 rolls of tape out. Why not? Yeah, there's a blue one. Blue and orange. That's a good combination. Okay, guys. First off, this is an addendum to the vision board video that I put out earlier. You can look that up. And in fact, if you find that in the liner notes, you might find a link to like a long version of that, which I believe is really worth it. But quite frankly, this really isn't for everybody, and it's also not for everybody at any particular stage of their life. And for me, I'm learning something new every single day. I'm progressing. I'm becoming a better man. I'm very, very, very excited about the many more years that I'm going to get to spend on this earth. It's going to be fantastic. Ooh, I'm having fun with this. Whee! It's a Venn diagram. Okay, so folks, a vision board is basically you put up a bunch of pictures or quotes or phrases or goals up on your wall, and traditionally a vision board is like a mat board or a cork board or something, you know, just kind of like maybe, you know, that size. They even sell them. They're pretty weak if you ask me, because the one that I've made is like awesome, and I've had a lot of fun with it. In fact, I have a vision room, a whole room dedicated to this. So the very first thing that I need to repeat is the extremely personal and individual nature of a vision board. You will have voices in your head that will, I guess, limit you or have opinions. Like other people have told you things like, really, you're not going to go to college? Wouldn't you? Oh, there's no way you can make enough money to do that. And so don't worry about that. The trick is to just have a lot of fun with it and to get to the truth. To me, the vision board, among many other things, is a great tool for self-examination. So even though you see my stuff in the background here, you actually probably can't make out very much of it, and you can just get kind of a feel for what I've done. But don't let that determine what you do. You might want to just do everything, cut it out all in curves and stick it up there and make it all psychedelic, or maybe you'll just paint it, or you'll draw pictures on there instead of printing them out. And quite frankly, with the very most basic of equipment, you can make a really amazing and fun vision board. Now, there's a couple ways, and I'm repeating a lot of things here, but I think it's worth it. And I don't have really a time limit on this. YouTube just will let me upload whatever. So really just have fun with it. This is all about the what and not the how. And the question that I posed to myself 2 years ago was, if I could have my life any way I wanted without limitation, how would I have it? And I had to sort of let go of all those voices of what other people expected of me. And it's ongoing. Like, I have like insights into it. It's like, oh, okay, no, actually that would be good. We're going to talk a little bit about that later, what I call slow creation. So it's a very personal process, and for those of you that maybe you don't have very much privacy, you can do a couple things about that. One, you could create a vision book and keep that hidden. You could even cut out like postage stamp sized things and just have them in your wallet. But keep it to yourself. It'll be tempting to bring someone else in and just say, oh, look at this thing that I did. And you know, the fact that you're doing that means you haven't gotten to the source yet. You're still looking outside yourself for some kind of validation, and you don't need that. Everything, your own happiness, your own validation, all just comes out from inside. Oh, and by the way, do you like this shirt? This is like the happiest shirt I could find. It's yellow. So yeah, just I'm trying out different things. Okay, so your vision board is extremely personal. Do not, even people close to you, and you'll be tempted to say, oh yeah, I'm doing a vision board. Be even careful with that. Oh, what's a vision board? What do you put on it? Can I see it? No, 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 they can't. They can't see it. You have to keep this individual to yourself. Those other things, it's bad enough that there's past voices already inside your mind that you're going to have to be working through, because boy, I got to tell you, I was surprised. Now the second way, other than physically keeping it secret, is to use, to put it in code. So my vision board, for example, it has things on it that only I know what that means. Only I know what the full significance of that picture is. And so to some extent, you know, my family comes in. My kids don't really, you know, they don't register this stuff. I do want to, I want to tell maybe just a couple of stories here. One is, so I'm answering this question, how would I have life if I could have it any way I wanted? And so I was like, okay, well, what about my wife? And so I started typing up this document, and I finished it. It was about a page. And I was like, my inner voice, my inner self said, Shawn, you got to post this up now. You got to put this up. I said, yeah, I can't do that. That's trouble, buddy. So, but I put it up, and so my wife comes in to my vision room, and then she's like, whoa, hold on a second, and she starts reading it, and she's like this, oh really? And so, yeah, because she's scoring like a 35% on this thing, right? So here's what I found. First off, that was an outside opinion that I let in. The second thing is the vision board is a tool for the truth, to really look at yourself and say, okay, well, this is it. And I would suggest to you that any relationship, openness, like actually asking for what it is that you want. Because the other person may not know. Whoever your significant other is, he or she may resent it that they have to bring in the groceries and that you never volunteer to help, when you assume maybe they want to do that on their own. So that communication has to come out, otherwise you kind of get this passive-aggressive thing going on. But what's funny is I actually found that my wife started sort of embodying those things. And so another story is I had a picture of, in fact I'm gonna share this with you guys. Okay, so this is and don't be afraid to put stuff up, because some of it's silly and some of it is, you know, see already I'm kind of making a judge, I'm kind of backpedaling in front of everybody. So I found this picture, very comforting, and it says, Shawn, here's some delicious food that I cooked for you. And I'm like, awesome. So anyway, so I'm in with a friend talking about vision boarding. This is one of like 4 people that have even seen my vision board. And in comes my lovely spouse, and she has a plate of food, and she's wearing, I kid you not, almost that exact same apron. And we both went like, blah. You know, we did a double take, because there's a couple ways this could work. One is the other person sees it and absorbs it consciously or subconsciously and goes ahead and does it. Great, let's do that. Put your relationships up. Let's do this thing. And then the other way, which is what I believe the vision board is about, is that it is a tool to help focus your mind, and that your mind is an interface with this reality and actually changes the reality around you. So those are 2, I don't know, those are 2 examples. I apologize not. Okay, so moving on. So now we're into new stuff that I haven't talked about before. So the other thing is archetypes. So what I do is I put up like sections like a, oh, hold on. Okay, so an archetype is like a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a slot to be filled. So it's like a particular type of relationship. So for example, what's safe here? I have my bookkeeper. So I always put my and then whatever the relationship is. And do you see how easy that is? It's almost like when I'm presenting this, I'm being apologetic for it. That's how it gets into your head when you start sharing this stuff. So I have to be very careful with that even in this context. So my bookkeeper, now I don't know who that's going to be. It's just an archetype of whatever that thing is, whatever that relationship is. And so, I call it relationship by slot, which I have explained before, but let me repeat that here. So on your vision board, you can put particular roles that you want filled in your life, and be very specific. Write the attributes underneath them. And so what will happen is, as you begin to give energy to this, intellectual energy, emotional energy, also your time, you're paying attention in your life, you start to sense people moving in. And it's almost like, to me, it's almost like when another human comes in, they kind of hover like this. And I don't know where they're gonna pop into whatever role in my life. Because they might come for one thing and end up somewhere else. Or they might just move in and then they just move right on out. And what's interesting is, first off, some people say, well, you can't get rid of your family, you have to have your family. Well, that's not necessarily true. You can have different degrees of closeness with your family. This is a really different topic, but I want to just brush up against it, which is that if family members are toxic and they are damaging to you, you don't necessarily have to be around them. I call it the Christmas card. That the person gets a Christmas card, you're nice, you're polite at family reunions if you choose to go, but the fact is, you are your own person, and you only get one shot through this life. So yeah, you might have to go off and create a new life and have, different people around you. And I believe that people will naturally kind of be repelled or attracted to you based on where you are at a given point in time. Like what kind of radiation you're giving off, I guess. So for me, I tend, in the past, I've tended to hold on to relationships. Like I don't want to let go, and it's kind of like, I take it a little personal if somebody, even at my business, if somebody in times past, I'm not like this anymore, but in times past somebody quit, I'd just be like, was it me? What was wrong? No, that person's just moving on. And so, if somebody moves into my field of vision, the vision board, or into my experience, I get to know a new person. The vision board helps me understand how that relationship is going to work. So I'm not confused. It doesn't create like emotional havoc, because I sense right away kind of how they're fitting into things. So if somebody leaves, maybe they just don't stay in touch as much. It's a time for reflection rather than mourning. I'm interested. Oh, okay, what did I learn from that person? That was really neat. It was really great to get to know them, and I'm excited to meet the next person that's going to come in. Because the thing is, you have really a limited amount of experiences you can have. Like, there's only so many calories that can come in that mouth every day, so what are you going to eat? You got to pick. Don't keep going back to the buffet and getting something that's terrible. That's a lot how relationships can be like too. Don't just go back. If it's not good, just take a deep breath, switch it into neutral, and just let things kind of resolve themselves, and worry about yourself. Worry about what you're doing, or I guess I should worry about what I'm doing. So, okay, so that's archetypes, slots, relationship by slot. Also, I want to talk about foreshadows. So this is just terminal. I'm new to all this. I read all these books. I listen to all these videos. And I'm voracious for this stuff. I'm interested. How does the universe around me work? If this is true, I love this. It means I can influence this whole reality, based on my own thoughts and feelings and where I'm going with things, my vibration. So foreshadows. A foreshadow is a thing where you put up a relationship. Maybe it's a very important one, or maybe it's an item. So, for example, if you put up a car, and you've thought about it, you've picked it out, you watch a video. Oh, this is so fun. Don't be afraid, because in the world of the vision board, you are Almighty God. It's awesome. It is so fun. I come into this room, I go, you know what? I don't like that. That doesn't feel right. You get to tinker around with it before you start doing things, or really putting any sort of effort into it. Sometimes I put no effort into it. Things just show up. And for example, one of my affirmations and things that I put up was, let me find this. It said, volunteers come out of the woodwork to help with everything needed. And boy, that has happened, unbidden. I didn't even ask. I just started getting volunteers. But maybe my mind was just open to it before I would have just went, whatever, don't even worry about it. So a foreshadow is like a smaller version of the thing that comes in. It kind of like shows you how wonderful it can be, but then it moves out. And so don't worry about that. Don't be like, oh, maybe that was it, blah. No. No, it was just a little taste. So it could be a car, and then a business associate shows up and is like, hey, let's go to lunch. Oh, by the way, I have this new car. Oh, and it's the one you've been thinking about. Oh, now you're in it, you're riding in it. It's oh, do you want to drive it? Oh, you bet I do. That sounds great, let's do that. Yes, make this such a fun adventure, and don't worry about the how. Don't worry, and that is the biggest thing that like really just got me in the beginning. I was like, how am I going to make this all happen? It's like, just relax. Just have fun with it first. Just let it be in your mind, kind of influence your mind, and it's like, this stuff can just take you to your happy place, and then you'll find it's easier and easier just to switch those gears. I'm in my happy place. I'm in my happy place. I'm having a good time. This is fantastic. And you can always switch up. You can always change your mind later. Don't worry about, well, what if it's a thing and then I don't like it? Great, put another thing up. There's no limit. The only limit is your printer ink. Don't run out of printer ink. Just print up something new, put some inspiring sayings under it, have a good time with it. Anything. So, okay, so that's a foreshadow, and it can be a person. So, for example, I had a particular relationship, and I had two pictures for it, and one of them had red hair, and the other one had like dark hair, like black hair. And what was funny is I got two foreshadows of it, and both of the people that were kind of like a premonition of that, they both had red hair on the top and black hair on the bottom. It was the weirdest thing, and I was like, all right, that's great. It's a little experience. It's the universe telling you, don't worry, all this is being formulated in its own due time. The grass, it's spring and the grass is growing. Just take a deep breath. Everything's unfolding as it should. You don't gotta worry about it all. And that's the beauty of this. It's just the what. Maybe a little bit of why too. Well, why do I like that? Why is that important? Okay, let's move on. So the next thing I want to talk about is a rule, and I believe this is a rule that can't be broken. It's like the genie. Can't make someone fall in love with you. That is, you can't have a particular person for a particular spot in your life. And that's something I realized, because I actually had particular people up for a while, and then I realized, I was like, no, maybe they don't, maybe this isn't their thing. Maybe this isn't for them. I call it fitting someone for a wedding dress. Oh, you'd be so perfect in this. Well, no, maybe they wouldn't, because these other people, they have free will. And the other thing is, maybe the universe has something better in mind for you. That if you looked at it from a perspective of infinite intelligence, a term that keeps popping up. By the way, if you're wondering, I'm having a blast with these. You should get something in your hands too and kind of be fiddling with it. I keep like putting this one through this one like that. Whee! It's fun. Kind of twist this around a little bit, you know. All right, maybe somebody better is ready and being orchestrated for that. So when somebody quits or somebody moves out of your field or they, you know, break up with you, let that go. Just take a super deep breath, because the only thing you can change is yourself. The only thing that I can change is myself. And what I found is when I started changing myself, I started shaking out certain relationships, and other relationships kind of came into focus. And that was great. And I'm continuing. Like, I'm just like, I am like, that was off key. I'm continually upping my game. I'm upping my vibration. I'm upping my frequency. Terms I've heard. I am really, I'm reading books. I am minding my health and my diet. I am, you know, trying new things that I've never tried before. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. All right. So now, next concept. Ooh, tell me I got some water in here. I don't. Dry as a bone. I'll be back. Oh, that was good. Okay, next concept. This is called the placeholder. When you first start doing this process, you may have no idea. Most people go through life and they have this vague notion that maybe someday they'll catch a break. Maybe someday that special someone will show up. And then they'll sort out how it is. And that is just the worst way to go through life. Two reasons. One, just any old thing is going to show up. It's sloppy thinking, folks. It's a sloppy way to live your life, to not think it through first. Get to the truth. Well, what kind of house would I want? Well, guess what? That takes some effort. Go online. Find out what it is. Don't look at the prices. Doesn't matter. Find a good real estate agent. Say, you know what? I'd like to see some houses. I'm trying to feel out where I want to go. So, you know, just show me some things if you have some extra time. Don't worry about the price tag. Just show me something awesome, and let's go around and give it a Hail Mary. See what'll happen. March into the bank and be like, yep, I got no assets, I got nothing, but I'm looking around at houses, and maybe you guys can do something for me. Or maybe you'll find a rental. Rentals can be great too. Find your, stop looking at the price tag as a limiting factor. So start first with, well, if I could have it any way I wanted, how would I have it? And I found out that I didn't want a giant multi-million-dollar mansion, and here's why. Because even though it was incredibly nice, it was like so much, it would take me 10 minutes just to find my family. And it just, I don't know, there were some features that were awesome, and then there were some features that, you know, were only theoretically great. And, you know, well, what do you want? What kind of neighbors do you want? That kind of thing. And you can do it by, it can be like, well, short-term, mid-term, long-term. You can change your mind as you go along. You don't have to, you know, have it all figured out at once. So a placeholder is just something that you put into that spot as you're fantasizing about in your mind, but maybe that's not your end ideal. You're just using that. So with people, so if it's a relationship, who is it? Oh. Okay, hold on, honey. Here, come on in. Come on in, sweetie. Hey, I'm doing a video. Here, you can be on it. Look. Hello, say hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Dad, could I tell you something now?
Yeah, you sure can. You wanted to go over to a friend's house. That's great. You know, the person that's most joyful in my life is that little 5-year-old girl. She's funny. She always, you know, kids can get their wings clipped at a pretty young age, you know. Settle down. Be quiet. Quit jumping around so much, you know. You can't have that. We can't afford that. Money doesn't grow on trees. That's another topic. So, placeholder. So placeholder is something that you use until you can get something better to just, you know, to kind of round it. Like, you may not have enough information to even make your decision. I read this great book. I want to talk about a couple of books. Water, yes. I want to talk about a couple of books. One is called The Aladdin Factor, and it talks about asking for things. Great book, by the way. Great read. I lost my copy. So anyway, so the Aladdin factor, it says the reasons why people don't ask. And there's 4, I can only remember 3. One is ignorance, not even knowing that such a thing exists. You don't ask for it because you don't know that it's there, that it exists, you know. Let me give a couple of examples. No, I'm not going to give any examples. The other thing is fear. So fear of disappointment. So you stop asking for things because, you know, well, that probably won't happen, and it's painful, you know, so better just not even to try, or not even to think about it, or not even to put it on your vision board. May as well not even try because it's painful. So that disappointment is painful. The next reason is a sense of unworthiness. Not deserving things. That's a big one, and it's very subtle as well. So placeholder, so while you work out your lack of knowledge, lack of facts, the placeholder can help you. But I give you this warning: if you use a placeholder as a person that you know, so for a particular relationship, you may start associating the feelings of that relationship for that person, and that can be not awesome. So be careful, be careful. I would warn you against putting specific people up on your vision board. Only put up general ideas of how that particular relationship will feel. And then it can become, along with any other object, experience, thing, personal attribute, or relationship, it can be yours by right of consciousness. Great term that I heard. Right of consciousness is that you will always have whatever that thing is because you're bringing it to you with your own mind. You've made a connection, you've made a fundamental connection with this reality, so that can't ever be taken away from you. There may be the illusion of it. So money. So, give me all your money. It's like, oh, okay, here you go. Poof, more money appears. You know, if you're making it with your mind, if really this experience is just a reflection of what's going on inside here, you can just keep going. Just keep going. Keep bringing more things. Oh, okay. Well, that's great. I can't wait to see what the next awesome thing is. And I gotta tell you, every time someone's left, whew, somebody better shows up. And every time, yeah, same with resources as well. You know, it's like be ready, be okay to shed that, and not to just be like, see ya, or be all angry about it, or you know, talk to the hand, but to be let it be a time of reflection, and those things enriched you. Okay, so that's what a placeholder is. So, for example, when I was thinking about houses, I dropped my little doohickey. When I was thinking about houses, the best house I had seen was this one that was kind of out up the canyon here, and I was like, all right. So when I imagined like waking up my ideal house, what did it look like? You know, I imagined that house. That was the best thing I had seen. So until I actually spent like 8 months going through like Parade of Homes, looking online at things, videos, going to see places with a real estate agent, finding out really what was out there, and then I made my list. It takes some effort. It takes some time. It takes some dreaming. But it's very exciting. And that's asking. So guess what? I've asked. I put it out there. Yes, I'm asking for all of this stuff. And you wouldn't even believe it if you saw it. So, yeah, it's amazing. And I'm just like, yep, if I could have it any way I wanted, this is the experience that I want to have. These are the people I want to have in my life. And it's a lot. I have a lot of really, really, really amazing relationships with a lot of different, wonderful, interesting people. And I am just like, blah. Oh man, when I think about, and it's all starting. I mean, this stuff, it will open your eyes and get you out of your shell. There's a huge beneficial effect. Yeah, you'll start looking around. You'll start, oh, okay, here's an opportunity that you may have passed up. And that's the difference. That's the difference between somebody who is wildly successful and fulfilled. Success can be different things. but wildly successful and fulfilled, and somebody who just kind of half-waited it their entire life. You know, and I'm no exception. I need to, you know, put in a lot more and, you know, create a lot more in my mind and in my reality as well. And I still, folks, I still have no idea how this is going to happen. Because really, I mean, I've got, oh, yeah, let's talk about that. So one source that I found talked about when you have your vision board, you have what's called the evidence locker. So you keep a folder, and every time you take something down off your vision board, you put a date on it, that it happened, that it manifested, and you put it in your evidence locker, and that helps your belief, your confidence, your excitedness about it. And you can start with something small, you know. Last video I showed you my bike helmet. I have a bike helmet. Oh, but this is a new one for me. Where is it? I don't know where it is. Okay. Oh, there it is. Perfect. This is my armoire. So I had this up for a couple months. I didn't date it. Now some people, there's a couple schools of thought. Some people say, put the date that you put it up, put a date that you want it by, and then, so I don't, me personally, I don't put dates that I want stuff by. I just, ooh, that was weird. That was the smoke alarm. So, and then the date that it actually happens. So actually out in my driveway is this armoire now. Didn't fit in my room, though. Now, I believe that your subconscious is extremely powerful and is paying attention. Like, this armoire wouldn't fit in my room literally by an inch. Now, my subconscious already knew that because it already knows all these measurements perfectly and calculates everything. So, why did I get it? I believe it's like a symbol or a sign that, what? That's not good timing. It's a sign or a symbol that I'm outgrowing my current space. I'm outgrowing this shell. And I gotta tell you, I have this, it's not an overwhelming, it's a very powerful feeling that I'm like right around the corner. Like just, you know the movie where like the submarine or whatever window starts cracking and all the pressure starts coming in? I have that feeling, except for it's good stuff. Like all these opportunities are just like right there. They're just ready. And already kind of little things are kind of flooding in, just like new relationships and new fun experiences and new ideas are just like da 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 da. And I'm very, very excited about that. So, okay, I don't even know what I was talking about. All right, let's move on. Slow creation. So the vision board is a tool to help you focus. It can be a goal-setting tool. It can be a mental health aid. Me personally, since I started doing all this, it's been great. I'm enjoying what I'm doing now, and I'm looking forward to the future. Both of them. My whole oatmeal experience. I'm making my oatmeal one morning, and I was worried out of my mind for things that are going to happen tomorrow or 3 days from now. I'm just like miserable. Stupid. And then I'm looking at this oatmeal, and I'm like, I love oatmeal. And I've got my favorite jam and butter and whole milk, and I'm like, why can't I just enjoy my oatmeal? All this stuff is making it so I can't, like, I just want to eat my oatmeal in peace. Please, brain, leave me alone for like 15 minutes. You gotta quiet those voices. And this is a great way of doing it. At first I was like, how am I going to do this? I'm so mad, I hate you. No. I kept at it, and then it was just fun. I'm just like, look what I put up. That's insane. Awesome. Let's do that. I want to have that. I love that. Fantastic. Boom. So slow creation is, and what I found is, because I've been doing this for a good year to 2 years, it's June 2012 marks, you know, kind of my first step on this path. Slow creation is important because I put things up, and I have a whole bin down here. It's all face down. I don't know. I probably should just throw it out, but I keep it, and you know, the old ideas just, you know, they just go in the bin, and I don't even think about them. And because some things I put up, and then I'm like, 2 months later, I'm like, no, that's really not my thing. That does not sound like fun. Like, for example, having 250 employees, Although it seemed like an empire at the time, and now I'm just like, oh, that seems like not fun. It's gonna even my 10-year thing is gonna be considerably less than that. It's gonna be broken up, and it's gonna have good managers, so I don't have to be like in everything. So slow creation is important. Okay, here's another one. Write and burn. I'm going to go over this real quick, just tell you how to do it. This is a good way to get things out of your mind. Worrying is, ooh, now I'm going to have a pen. Oh, I'm going to get 2 pens. One's going to be purple and the other one's going to be blue. I love these pens. So I'm going to tap them together like this. You won't see it, but I'm doing it. Okay, so write and burn works like this. You're in complete privacy, maybe early in the morning. You take a piece of paper, I like cardstock, you fold it in half, and you write down what's eating you. You got to get it out of your mind. Because have you ever had days like that? Like just, everything's just pissing you off. And then it's like, okay, why am I yelling at the cat? You know? Why am I snapping here? What's really bugging me? So write it down. And write it in first person present tense. You say, I am worried that, da 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 da. I am afraid that, blah, blah, blah. I am anxious that, da, 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 da. I am angry that, etc., etc. So now what you do is you flip on the other side, you write an affirmation that's the opposite of that. So if you're like, I'm worried I won't be able to pay my bills this month, you say, on the other side, on the affirmation side, the positive side, you say, I am always able to pay my wonderful bills. Or you might not even mention bills at all. You might say, I always have plenty of money left over. Now you're getting into some fun. When I first started making my vision board, I just added up all my debts and I put up that amount of money. That's how much money I want. That's no fun. There was not a single fun thing at that. Oh great, now I can go sit out on the street and just not have this other stuff pressing in on me. Oh, that'd be nice. But it's not fun. That doesn't motivate. You gotta plow over that and get into some good territory. So write and burn. So then what you do is you have the positive things. So you slowly, because you've creased it, so you rip it, and as you rip it, when you hear the ripping sound, you're pretending that you're actually tearing the bad part out of your mind. Okay. So then you take the bad part and you actually burn it in a little burn can. By the way, be careful. I had a guy try this. And he was just doing it on the street, and a gust of wind came up and fanned like all the sparks and burning pieces of paper everywhere. So, mind your controlled circumstance. And by the way, burning is great. It feels better than, because I've done a paper shredder. So, but burning feels so good. It's awesome. Pyro, maybe. All right. So now you have some affirmations. Now those you put up on the wall. Those you think about every day. You say them to yourself. Let me share a few of them. I have a whole bunch of them. And these are always, every day I get further ahead. My business relationships are strong. I am an excellent provider. That's good. And I have a certain amount of money too. But I'm like, you know what? This is all that I could think of for personal consumption. This would be amazing. And it's a lot. My body is always in peak condition. My teeth are white and strong. You know? And these are all the positive versions of things that were kind of bugging me. You know? Yeah, that's right, my teeth. My past is healed and sealed. So that's a good one. A little vague, maybe. And you can play with these. There's a lot of wordsmithing in it. All right. Yeah, it's easy to complain. It's easy to focus on the past. It's easy to worry about the future. What's the opposite of worrying? In the past I'd say like, oh, it's hope, it's faith. That's true. That's true, but I'd say it's fun. The opposite of worry is having some fun and not worrying about a thing, you know. And the opposite of worry is positive expectation, but there was something else. The opposite of worry is daydreaming. Daydream, because worrying is like inventing this situation That, I mean, and I invent like the most outrageous stuff. I already know that's probably not going to happen. That it's virtually impossible that that's going to happen. People aren't like that. History hasn't shown me that that's how, it's going to pan out. It's worked out good every time. Why am I so bent out of shape? This little thing. The mind is very slippery. That's why I love the whole vision board thing, because the vision board it helps you focus. I come in, if I don't like something, I get rid of it. And I do my workout in here. So I just I do my reps by the tens of millions. I do, and I look at it. It's just something to get excited about. Awesome. I love that. No idea. Do you know how you're going to do it? Nope. But I'm having fun. I'm having fun now. It's making me happy now. It makes me happy just to look at it. Now, I do have an area in my vision board which I call the focus. And I put this fun little picture that I liked on there. It says focus underneath. And it's very small. So not a lot of things can go in it at the same time. And I just put something in there. And if I'm feeling a little defeated, rare, but if I'm feeling a little defeated, or like maybe it's too much, or blah blah blah, then I put something small there. I put a bike helmet. I put that I'm going to meet somebody new there. Yeah, like I put up a biking companion, someone just that I can go bike around with. Awesome. Let's do that. So that's a write and burn. And so you burn all those things, and let me tell you, I made fun of this at first. Like, that's the dumbest thing. I got control of all this. No, you don't. You need this stuff. It helps. It really helps. Okay, so the other thing is just be careful, because Eeyores don't like Tiggers jumping around. So just leave them alone. Don't try and you're not responsible for other people's happiness. Just do your thing that makes you happy. Don't worry, all those good vibes will radiate. Whatever you do, don't try and go in and commiserate. Oh, let me help you up with my good, cheery attitude. Well, I understand that, and don't think I'm not empathetic. But the fact is, the choice of happiness can only come from the individual themselves. And you can only choose happiness for yourself, what you're going to do. I can only choose what I'm going to do. And so, sometimes people are, by habit or nature, they're introverted, and that's okay. Just, be gentle. My battery's dying. Be gentle and let that person be who they're going to be. And you be who you're going to be. And you'll find that lots of new and wonderful people that are on kind of the same vibe will begin to show up. And the other thing is, just, I guess as a parting idea, this is something I'm working on, which is, no one can be the source of my happiness except me. And it's not right to put that responsibility on someone else. Because as soon as somebody else has to behave a certain way for me to be happy, then all of a sudden I have to kind of control what it is they're doing. That's an impossible task. It goes back to the rule of the vision board. You can't peg someone into what you think is best for them. Maybe it's not best for them. Let the right thing just happen naturally on its own. And so for me, I've started just relaxing and spending time with myself, getting to just really enjoy my own company. I think for some people that comes very naturally, and not everyone's a Tigger. So, all right, I guess that's it. That's all I gotta say. Thanks for tuning in. As you may know, I do have a separate company set up. It's called Visionworks. Right now I'm just kind of letting it be this wonderful empty shell, not much going on in it. And because I realized basically the bills are getting paid by my art studio, and and in a way it's really a wonderful thing that I could do this too, and actually have some time for it, and really reach out and not help people, because I can't really change anything about your life. You have to do that. You get the great privilege of creating that. And having a fun time doing it, having it be your own creation. Your life is your own creation. And so, but what I can do is do what's fun for me, what's interesting for me, and kind of spread it out as this oasis that with all these wonderful flowering and fruiting trees in it and all these wonderful streams and gardens. Oh, I want to build a place. I want to build Rivendell. Or find Rivendell, and set it up. But metaphorically speaking, that if somebody happens to be voyaging that way, they can stop in, they can get something interesting, something refreshing, something new, something helpful, something soul satisfying. So thanks for dropping by. I really hope that you have got something out of it. Hey there, and welcome. What up? Yep, this is the happiest shirt I could muster right here. It's yellow. Hey there, and welcome. Yeah. Blah, blah.